I'm Corbett Wall with DB Auction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, March the 18th, brought to you in part by Norbrook. Norbrook offers more than just generics. They provide innovative product features such as packaging and differences in formulation and withdrawal times to make products more convenient to use. For more information, go to norbrook.com. Short bought, and the Packers have really resisted higher prices this week, even in the auctions, trying to get cattle bought, but buying inferior cattle at the same prices to keep from raising the price levels at all. Their box beef cutout values are coming around seasonally. It's a little bit later than what normal, but they are coming back a little bit, but they're wanting to increase their margins. Word is their margins have got as small as just making $250 a head, which is criminal there. Hate to see them have to get by on that, just owning those cattle about a week or maybe two. But so far this week, confirmed sales, only less than 30,000 head. Now, they may have bought a little bit more than that late on Thursday, and then they may indeed get some guys to fall victim on Friday, or they may have to raise their prices a little bit because they've increased the change speeds here pretty good. It's just that late in the week we just keep falling off. We can't have a decent Saturday anymore. A lot of these union have negotiated deals where they get more Saturdays off, and last week we saw that Friday was really disappointment there because they didn't, we had a couple of plants that were almost completely dark there. Of course, we had weather that was going on, but we've got some weather up there in the Midwest this week too. But they need the product and they need the cattle, but they're just continuing to resist giving any more money for cattle. Some of our southern lots, which they've sold steady to weak so far this week, selling their cattle at 138, and maybe just a few sales, a pinch less than that, but not really. That's not really the market, and that's on some inferior type cattle. But some of our southern lots are pulling cattle forward because the cost of gains are just eating them alive, especially when those cattle get to the extreme weights, and they're not nearly as efficient as they are at the lighter weights. But pulling cattle forward at mostly steady money, that's not a bad thing. We need to continue to pull cattle forward, and that could cause our weights to lighten up a little bit. Our weights have been astronomical. Our actual slaughter information coming back for the week ending March the 5th had our average dressed steer carcass weight at 919 pounds. That was a pound heavier than the previous report. We're expecting them to come down, and that 919 pounds is the heaviest in history for this time of year. But that's what we need to get the weights down, is pulling those cattle ahead, and quit having so many of those 1,700 pound cattle on the show list. But if packers are willing to buy those cattle, then they are kind of helping our situation out. But we've only got 6 or 8 weeks here to hold the market position that we have right now, or increase it, before we start running into heavier numbers of market-ready cattle on the show lists. And those cattle are coming a couple, 3 months earlier than normal, because we normally see that happen late in the summer. But since we didn't have hardly any place to turn cattle out this winter, a lot more of the cattle went on into the feedlot, which caused our heavy cattle on feed numbers. But with those cattle gaining more weight in the feedlot and getting closer to being finished, those cattle are going to be coming sooner than what we normally see. And I'm not saying there's a wall of cattle there. I mean, we're light on numbers of cattle, but this is likely going to be the last big brunt of numbers to get through before we really start seeing lighter numbers catching up. Our cow numbers are down. Our calf crop numbers are down. We've slaughtered a world of heifers the last 2 or 3 years, so we haven't kept those back. And we are going to increasingly and progressively see our numbers of cattle, period, diminish. And that's going to help our market in the long run. But we've got to learn how to hold the ground, to ask more money for cattle, and to continue to try to get more market position in there, as we haven't done that in a long time, and we're not seeing enough negotiated trade. That's why we need a mandated minimum negotiated trade percentage to keep us from getting into these positions and not being able to take advantage of things when fundamentally we deserve to get some more market there. But box beef cutout values have lacked coming back seasonally like they normally do, and as fast as they normally do, because of the economy, because of gas prices, because of the unrest in Ukraine, and all the things that go with. But we've just got to learn as cattle sellers to demand more market for our cattle. Let's look at your board on Thursday. April live cattle futures were up 12 cents, which doesn't seem very significant at all, but your live cattle futures started the day out lower, significantly lower, and then came back and posted some small, very, very small, but yet significant gains, being on the positive side. But April live cattle up 12 cents on Thursday, closing at 139.47. June up 40 cents at 135.92. Your back months were traded in a very, very small volatility, but still on the positive side, from up 2 cents to up 10 cents, which is not really enough to talk about, but at least we didn't lose any more ground. Now, feeder cattle, we lost ground because on Thursday your grains bounced back in a big way, and they're just on a pulley with your grain markets, one down and the other up, and vice versa. But March feeder cattle down 70 cents at 156.55. That's still about a buck premium for the March contract than what our cash market is right now in your index levels. So it's not a bad thing to see that get back in line. April feeder cattle down a buck 52 at 161.10, and that's a significant premium also. But you look at your back months on feeder cattle, and they were down pretty hard, from 87 cents to down a buck 40. We talked about our grains, and they were all up. Corn was up 24.5 cents on Thursday, closing at 7.54.5 cents a bushel for normal trading there. Soybeans up 19.25 cents at 16.68.5. And Kansas City hard red winter wheat contract for May was up 19.75 cents at 10.92.25, but still a lot less than where we were the middle of the previous week at $12.50 a bushel there. But talk about your fat cattle trade. We saw a little bit more trade on Thursday, and it was the heaviest trade we've seen all week, but still fairly light. We saw the Southern Plains finally trade some cattle, and like I said earlier, steady to weak, mostly steady. But they haven't bought very many cattle. They need cattle, and they're going to have to come in here on Friday. And if they don't buy very many more cattle this week, next week is the opportunity for your cattle sellers to gain some ground, because they're going to be extremely short bought. Iowa, about 2,200 head confirmed on Thursday, only 6,600 for the week so far. That is way lower than what they normally do, normally well into the 20,000 head range there. But your confirmed sales in Iowa on Thursday were at 140, and that's $1 to $2 higher compared to the spread in Iowa last week, and on very, very light receipts there. Dress sales from 221 to 222, and your dress market steady to $2 higher in the north. How about Nebraska? 8,800 head confirmed on Thursday, less than 12,000 for the week, which is nothing for them. They normally sell 30,000, even now in current times where we're not selling very many negotiated cattle. But 138 to 140, but largely 138. Iowa is getting a big premium because those farmer feeders have held their ground, and their bigger commercial lots are giving in due mostly to the cost of gains. But dress sales in Nebraska, 220 to 222. Kansas, about 13,600 head on Thursday. They had only sold about 200 head more than that earlier in the week, so still very light in Kansas. 138's the price, steady to weak. Texas, about 6,000 head on Thursday, only 6,400 for the week. 138 also there. Box beef cutout values we're mixed again with choice being down, and we just keep seeing these cutout values refusing to gain ground here. Like I said, due to the economy and everything costing more. But yet it's getting the time of year where your wholesalers, your end users are going to be placing more orders because it's getting to the spring of the year. We're going to have warmer temperatures, and people are going to be wanting to buy that product to grill in their backyards more often. But choice cuts were down $1.03 on Thursday at $257.05. Select up 41 cents at $250.68. Got a choice select spread, still pretty narrow, but nothing like we saw there a few weeks ago, but at $6.37. Your slaughter has been very aggressive this week. Let's hope that we see a good Friday and a decent Saturday. But so far through Thursday, your harvest on cattle has been 500,000, and that's 1,000 more than last week, 44,000 more than the same week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. How about Falling Timber Farm? They're going to be having their 13th annual bull and female sale on Saturday here, this Saturday, tomorrow the 19th at 5:30 in the evening. There's a lot of sales going to be happening on Saturday. Most of them are going to be early in the afternoon. So you guys can tune in on dvauction.com and view that Falling Timber Farm sale at 5:30 in the evening. You can view and bid that sale. Going to be coming to you from Marthasville, Missouri. But they've got some of the best Hereford genetics that you can find anywhere in the world. And you can view and bid on those cattle at dvauction.com. Talk about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index brought to you by Margin Tracks by Midcon, based on the 800-pound steer in your cash feeder cattle auction markets. 155.49 to end the day on Thursday. That was up 62 cents, and we've seen significant gains all week this week on your real-time index there, and we're seeing more cattle weighing in the 8s bring close and well into your 160s, which we thought we had lost that, but they've come back a lot quicker than what we had actually thought. But check out another bull sale that's going to be on Saturday the 19th. Iron Lorenzen sale, their annual bull sale there. Red Angus bull sales coming to you from the Dry Creeks Ranch in Oregon there, but that sale is going to be on DV Auction at 1 o'clock Pacific time. So got 210 top quality Red Angus bulls for sale there, and Sam Lorenzen asked me to give them a holler out, and so there you go. Don't miss that Lorenzen bull sale. Also coming to you here from Fallon, Nevada. Nevada Livestock Marketing in Fallon's got about 4,000 head on Friday. You can view and bid that sale on DV Auction. Got a lot of lightweight fall-born calves there, even as light as roping calves, and a lot of lightweight stockers there. There'll be hard dried out desert type cattle, and you guys can get in and bid on those cattle. I know the freight's quite a bit, but if you can get your hands on those cattle and find a way to put some cheap gain on them, there's money to be made there. Talk about some of your big sales on Thursday. How about Pratt, Kansas, winter livestock in Pratt, 6,000 head there. Really good sale, especially compared to last week's market when everybody was down. Steers $1 to $5 higher, heifers $3 to $10 higher there, and a stick-out sale at Pratt was 51 head of 673-pound steers at $176.50. How about further north in Kansas? Salina, Kansas, Farmers and Ranchers Livestock had 4,000 head there, and the market was sharply higher than last week, but last week they had real light receipts due to wintry type weather in the area, but a really good sale this Thursday with a stick-out sale at Farmers and Ranchers Livestock in Salina being 120 head, 919-pound steers at $151.25. How about Mitchell Livestock, Mitchell, South Dakota, 6,600 head there. Feeders sold from steady to $6 higher there. Really good sale in Mitchell. Stick-out sale in Mitchell, South Dakota was 135 head of thin-fleshed 804-pound steers, bring $164.35. How about another big sale up in the northern region there? Ogallala, Nebraska, Ogallala Livestock Auction, 4,000 head there. You look at the automated market report from Cattle Market Central through DV Auction. Look at your best tested weights there. 792 head of 6-weight steer calves in Ogallala. They averaged 646 with a weighted average price on all your 6-weight steers at 182.12. Very impressive there. 516 head of 7-weight steer calves in Ogallala, averaged 741 pounds with a weighted average price of 168.55. How about 568 head of your 8-weight steers in Ogallala? They averaged 847 with a weighted average price on all your 8-weight steers of 154.36. A couple of other individual quotes from sales that we don't get a chance to talk about very often. How about Hope Livestock Auction in Hope, Arkansas? They had an in-house video along with their regular sale there. They had some 150-day weaned steer calves there, 2 loads of them, 140 head, 690-pound weaned steer calves in Hope, Arkansas, immediate delivery at 168.35. Very impressive. But the best quote that I saw anywhere on Thursday come out of a sale in Fairview, Illinois. The Fairview Sale Barn in Illinois had the Ralgro top quote for the day. Brian Curlis, world champion auctioneer, give me the heads up on there. They were the Rex McClure cattle that we've quoted before. 65 head, 854-pound steers, bring 169.50 out there in your farmer feeders in Illinois. And that's your feeder flash for Friday.